You've got KUSH Denver Big Mike here on a kind of a chilly Colorado evening. It's 6:51 in the p.m. Traffic is just breaking up. Still slow in all the usual areas. That 6th Avenue construction zone is a mess. Be careful out there. We got two wrecks. We got one over on Wadsworth westbound at I-70, Sheridan westbound on I-70, and looks like C-470 in Wadsworth. Emergency equipment is on the scene on all three of those sites, four of those sites. I'm not sure. But be careful if you're in the area. You got Big Mike. It is early in the evening. Been an interesting day, and wanted to talk a little bit about if we're aware of, I was down at the DMV to get my license, and one thing I'm really noticing is a lot of the services that we used to get for free with the government are now paid. We have to either pay somebody else or we have to pay an additional fee to get those services, or they're outsourced. And generally they're outsourced because, and then we never fired the people that used to do that job. They're still there. So what we have here is a misappropriation of, we have an additional tax. If you figure out all the fees and taxes that the county, state, local government imposes on you, the amount is staggering. It's just, from school fees that, when I went to high school, we didn't have to pay fees for everything. A lot of that stuff was included. We never had a problem with any of it. So, I don't know. I don't want to start off on a bit, necessarily sour note. But man, I was down at the DMV, man, I'm still violated. They should have kissed me or something. Grease it up or something. I'm not sure. It's just one of those resounding feelings of, like I just got violated. You got KUSH, the highest station in the nation. Big Mike, gonna walk you through this evening. Not sure where we're going with this show. Had a couple things happen recently in my life that kind of shook me up a little bit. But I just don't feel like I'm gonna get down about all that. It's not like you have to, even if you mourn or even if you miss something or if you are without something, it's not really a have to that you have to stay miserable, is it? You got Big Mike this evening, KUSH, the highest station in the nation. 6:54. We're going to walk you through, half an hour of kind of asking questions about what is and what isn't. I'm not so sure that I'm convinced that the standard emotional response that's attached to each and every life event is necessarily, something that makes us a better or worse person if we do or we don't do it. Case in point, if you quit your job, if you, it can be a traumatic experience, but it also can be a liberating experience, I just, going through a lot of life events in the last 6 months, and some of them, some of them I do feel bad about, a lot of good people have gone out of my life. I think that we go through cycles in life where we change our taste and we reevaluate our relationships with the people that are surrounding us. I know periodically I go through, and I like to call it, regrounding, and making sure that the people that, are closest to me are, we're on the same journey. It's not always possible to get a total bond with one of your friends, and sometimes you just really don't want to. I've got friends, anybody who knows me, I've got friends for different moods, actually. If I've got hard drinking friends, I got social drinking friends, I've got partiers, I've got married guys, I got lots of different friends. But it's funny how they switch with our moods, who we hang out with. And the more we hang out with one person or the other can affect, how, which friends want to hang out with us. So, depending on our moods, we could reciprocate within our friendship circle negative feelings that won't necessarily reflect in a conversation, but more an invitation or an outright avoidance. Of course, we don't want to really be those kind of people that people are avoiding us, do we? You got Big Mike. It is 6:56 on March 20th, Friday night here in the studios. Fred and Barney, as always, are my production assistants. Fred wants to petition to change his name, and Barney's okay with his name, I guess. But Fred would like to be called Master F. Or, am I reading this right? Master F? Oh, F Master. No. Okay, we'll scratch one. Freddie? I'll go with Freddie. You just put Freddie on here? Under F Master? You went from the Fuck Master to Freddie? Nothing like shooting for the stars, huh? All right, so Freddie and Barney, my fabulous production assistants from Bedrock. We got the squirrels in the cage. We got the generator fired up. We're ready to talk about some issues that you may be facing, I may be facing, the world may be facing. This is an open show when it comes to topic because we really want to make sure that we flow with what vibe we're getting. Big Mike in the afternoon is like Big Mike in the morning. Slept first slower. Tired. And just a little beat today. Took a nice ride on the bike, though. I was all the way up north. Oh, that's a good weed right there. Not so sure what that tastes like. But it tastes good. Maybe it's Gouda. You think it's Gouda cheese? I remember growing up in Milwaukee, I used to hang out with this kid, Mike Dunn. It's like an older brother of mine, and he had an older brother, which was good because we were two kids with pretty big mouths. And it was good we had backup. Kevin always did a good job at backing Mike up. And Mike, he had a little bit bigger mouth than I did for a while, and then I went way past him. Way past him on that end of it. I talk a lot about growing up in Milwaukee because, it's a generation. I feel like we were the last generation of kids that actually got to know other kids. Maybe I'm off, maybe there's one or two after us. I don't know. But I know that it got real squirrely, I watch the way that kids are being raised now, and some of the things that are getting lost in parenting. And I'm not sure, as an uncle, I'm not a parent. I'm an uncle. I've got exposure to kids. I'm a grandfather by marriage, so I got that going for me. And it's not like I haven't had kids around me, and I haven't had to. I haven't had to do the 24-hour raising thing, but I definitely feel like I always had a impact on what parenting is when it's around me. I don't think that I really am an overbearing grandparent, but I do watch over and make sure that everything's going right with my grandkids. I mean, I'm the godparent of two of my grandkids, and what people with kids say to guys like me is that I don't know how to raise kids. And, part of that's true. I don't know what it's like. But I'm not dogged by the stigma either of having to be a parent. there is a stigma. There is a standard you have to uphold. There are things that you can't laugh at if it comes out of their mouth. You have to really try to focus and figure out where that shit is coming from. I'm not sure that I'm really one of those guys that believes in hitting kids, but I don't think that should ever be off the table. You know what I'm saying? In all the kids that I've been around, I never had to spank one of them. Usually my voice did enough. And I was always of the theory that I am with my German Shepherds is, you create dominance very young and make an impression. And a little impression when you're young is like a big impression when you're older. So, if you do that duty and you're consistent with that, I've never really had a problem with discipline with the children. I've had them not act right, but I don't think I've ever run into a problem where they didn't get right back in line. So maybe I'm just fortunate, and but even the times they lived with us and things like that throughout the years, I think that part of it was not necessarily that difficult in respects to discipline for me, because I'm a disciplined person. If you're not disciplined, I could see how, you having to create an image for something you're not. Yeah, who wants to do that? You got Big Mike. It's 7:02 in the Mile High City. Up here living at 5280. We're living at a different altitude. It is the 420 season. We're coming up on the summertime. I love summer. Summer is my absolute favorite season. And it's not just because I ride a Harley, and it's not just because I like to be out on my boat. It's everything. It's all that and more. It's the fact you don't need coats. It's not that baggage that you had to take all over. And in Colorado, you know how we don't wear winter coats. We needed heavy coats this year, and it's been cold out there. I'm sure it's been cold all over the nation. We certainly we didn't get any snow like New England. We didn't get those frigid temperatures you guys got in Wisconsin. Holy crap, man. I see those Wisconsin temperatures, and I'm like, whew, glad I don't live there. Those fucking people are cold. And people ask me every time it's cold here, well, you're not cold, you're from Wisconsin. Fucking cold is cold. If it's below zero in Colorado, it's below zero. It feels just like below zero in Wisconsin. And, you get that lake effect that actually even warms up the temperatures in the winter. I don't know, cold is fucking cold. Well, it's not Wisconsin cold. Well, it's not fucking Idaho cold either, because we're not there. Milwaukee, what I was saying about growing up as the last generation of kids that really got to know other kids, and let's take a 5-year span one way or another, I think that we stand out as a generation. The contrast in our work ethic, in our the way we view things, the even the toys we have, I think they all are telltales and basically signs of our times, of where we grew up, or when we grew up, more specifically. Our generation introduced MTV. MTV, when did MTV come out? Freddie. Incredible. Nobody's paying attention. Okay, yeah, you awake now? When did MTV come out? I thought it was 84. 83 or 84 is what I thought. Let's take a look. 81. See, I was 12 years old in 1981, so I would be the generation that introduced MTV. When the first video was Video Killed the Radio Star. And you know what? They fucked MTV up. Why can't they just play fucking music, dude? What's wrong with playing music on a music station? videos